Portfolio input ensemble. This is a fascinating input that we worked extensively with. It's based on the book written by Giovanni Seni and John F. Elder, Ensemble Methods in Data Mining. I suggest all subscribers and traders look into this. They've got a lot of great background analysis of how ensemble methods in trading improve results. So this input was based upon those works. Okay, so just for an example, we're going to go to portfolio, and when we scroll down, you will see the ensemble method here on the input. Here, ensemble minimum entries. 0 is off. 1 is still essentially off because it means one trading strategy at a time. When you shift the number upwards to 2, 3, and 4, it means you must have, let's say it at 2, strategies must be trading at the same time for there to be a real trade. The idea is a trading strategy is more apt to be profitable and accurate if more than one of your strategies in a portfolio gets the same trade on the same day, but different strategies. There's a lot of data in the book I mentioned that back up this analysis. We won't go into here, but there's a lot of mathematical analysis. This is a great way to increase accuracy and depth of your portfolio. So what we did here, this right now on 1, ensemble method 1 is turned off essentially, okay? And the results of this, when it's turned off on these 3 strategies, as you'll see, $14,932, and we have this graph. Okay, now what we want to do, what happens if we turn this on, and let's set it to 2. Same strategies, come down, ensemble set to 2. We must, of the 3 strategies in the portfolio, 2 of them must be trading at the exact same date for us to actually take a real trade. Okay, so how does this play out? What does the graph look like? Obviously, it's very selective, particularly if you only have 3 strategies in your portfolio. It only took 5 trades. The other strategy with no ensemble took substantially more trades, 186 trades. So we dropped from 186 trades to only 5 trades by using ensemble. And here's the results. As you can see, it didn't make much money because it reduced the trades substantially. But in a portfolio where you have hundreds of strategies, this is very effective, and I will show this in a minute. But for simplistic reasons, for presentational reasons, I just wanted to keep it simple here and show you that each one of these trades here had another trade at the same time. It won't tell you what that is in the trade list, but if you turn ensemble off and go through it, you will find it. But most of the trades that were duplicated at the same time were outside days in this particular example, or consecutive lows. Remember, in this, it's important to understand that at the top is one pattern. The computer will look at this pattern first. Then it will look at this and look at this. It will go down the list. So let's say if you have this pattern and this pattern together on the same day, the actual trade will be this pattern because it's first in the list. If you have this pattern and this pattern happened on the same day, it will take this trade. So the system just looks down the list. As you can see, all of these patterns were the down, up, down pattern. So you had consecutive lows or outside day were the next trades that were duplicated on that same day. But it took this trade because it was first in the list. It's important to understand that. So how you set up the lists in your portfolio is important. We try to normally put the most profitable and most active strategies at the top, as they will be hit first. Now, finally, I would like to show you what happens when you use ensemble with money management in a more complex strategies portfolio. You will see the real potential. Here's just a portfolio of over 28 strategies. And what we did here, we turned this on to 2. So of these 28 strategies, at least 2 of them had to happen at the same day for us to take a trade. But we added another set of money management. We'll go into detail further on in the videos, but just for presentational purposes, when we set this ensemble to 2, allow current trades must be set to false. Just remember, for the ensemble to work, you must always set concurrent trades to false. And we'll go further into what concurrent trade setting is on further videos. But just remember, using this always must be to false. All these concurrent trade is false. Okay, so what we did in this example, we turned portfolio money management to 1 and money management method to 1. This starts the leveraging process after losses. So keep in mind, each strategy here, every time it had a loss, it would increase the position size by a certain percentage until it had a win, and then it would reset to the base position. And each strategy had its own particular customized setting. But in a portfolio, you can also do that by setting the money management to 1, does that same thing in the portfolio, just like the strategy. And the portfolio money management, you have to have that set to 1 for everything below it to work. And it was set to 40%. So what we're doing here is we're going to show the ensemble method at work when you use these leveraging techniques. It's important to understand how this works in ensemble. You will see that our base position was 144 shares. But notice this particular strategy, even though it was ensemble, started at a higher base position. The reason it did this is because the strategies that we put in the portfolio were operating in the background. And it may have had a loss, but because it was not an ensemble trade, there wasn't another trade at that time that had the same trade on that date, it was omitted and not put in the portfolio. So when it finally got put in the portfolio, this volatility method, there was another trade on this same day. So it appeared, but notice the leverage was higher because the money management settings on the strategy level said it would increase after a loss. What's important to understand here is this particular strategy had a loss prior to being put in the portfolio as an ensemble. And after we have a loss, we know that the more losses we have on a system, the likelihood of it achieving a profitable trade on the next trade increases. So by increasing the leverage on this trade, not only did it increase the leverage after a loss, making it more probable to have a profit on a higher position size, it's also in an ensemble configuration, which also increases the odds that it will have a profit on the next trade. And then by putting the portfolio on a money management outside of the strategy, or I should say in addition to the strategy, you get further leveraging. Here's an example of a strategy. It must have had another trade during this same. So we took the trade, base position. We had a loss. But notice the next leveraged position here was 302 shares. If you took on a strategy level 144 shares times 50%, that's the amount we increase our position size after a loss. On the strategy level, it came to 216. But in the portfolio, we had it set to 40%. So 40%, it would increase on 216, creating 302. So we're leveraging on a strategy, and then we're leveraging in the portfolio after every loss until a win in an ensemble configuration. This is just an example to show you the configurations that can be put into this program. It's really infinite, the different combinations and configurations that one can do based on the creativity with your algorithms and strategies you use. So on it goes. You can see how this performs. You get all kinds of different leveraging happening at different times. But every time there was a loss, you would get an increase in the strategy and the portfolio. And this works to help profit. Portfolio analysis on this, 118,000. Here's our equity curve. Not bad when using ensemble and leveraging. And finally, we need to also bring down our portfolio money management performance report. I can't emphasize enough, 94% accurate. By combining an ensemble method with a money management leveraging program and the strategy and the portfolio, created an accuracy in our portfolio of 94% with a profit factor of 30 and a payoff ratio of 2. These are really great numbers, but it can only be done by using all these different money management configurations put together on top of each other. Remember, this is a day trading method in a portfolio of 28 strategies, buying on the close, getting out on the next close. So in this particular portfolio, because of the ensemble and the leveraging strategies I've shown you here, you're day trading in a portfolio with 94% accuracy. That's a very high number for day trading. I think everyone would agree on that. So the potential here is really profound.